budding beekeeper, one of the most important things you do when you open a hive is you're looking for new honeycomb. Honeycomb is key to the bees' existence. That's where they raise their brood. That's where they store their honey. And as you as a beekeeper, and particularly me, the more honeycomb I see in those hives, I'm assuming things are going really good. But with honeycomb, you've got to be very patient and understand how this all works. The honeybee has 8 plates on its underside. And in the early spring, that's usually when they're making the honeycomb. They secrete the wax and it comes out as a liquid. And that liquid takes 12 hours to solidify. And once it's solidified, the bee will pass it on up to the other bees and they will form it into either the honeycomb or use it for the capping. Now, to make 1 pound of honeycomb or wax, it takes about 6 pounds of honey. So there's got to be a lot of honey, nectar brought in, converted into honey, and consumed by the bees to make the wax. Now, the flakes are so light and small, it takes about 2,300 bees to make 1 ounce of wax. And 1 pound of beeswax takes almost 500,000 bees. So think about the time and it takes the honeybees to make that wax. You've got to be patient with them and understand that it's a slow process. They're not large insects. It just takes a lot of time. So how do you encourage that, the making of the honeycomb? One way is on your frame foundations, get those that are wax coated. That gives the bees a jump start to make more honeycomb and have the pattern already built in. Another way is to add more wax to that frame, and you can kind of do it 2 ways. One is take some existing wax that you've had that's clean and looking good, melt it in something like a crock pot, and then take a paintbrush and paint it onto that wax frame, wax foundation frame, and it just gives the bees more wax to work with. Another way is what's called a wax crayon, and you take the cardboard toilet paper roll that's empty, and you pour the wax into it, let it harden, and then you can just spread it onto the foundation like a crayon. So be patient with the wax. The other thing that you can do to encourage wax buildup is checkerboarding. If they've built up an area in let's say the super, you can then take and put the frames that have some wax up in an upper super, and that'll encourage the bees to come up into the upper super. So with wax building in the spring, be patient with the bees, understand it takes a lot of work.